So this is my 2024 Yamaha R1. I don't even know where to start, but this bike, let me tell you, is an absolute animal. So it is a 2024. I believe you can't get a 25 in the UK. You can only get a 25 in America. So I opted for the standard R1 because I didn't see a justification in spending another 12 or 13,000 pound just to get Olin suspension and some carbon. And I wanted it to be all black. And with the R1M, you can't modify a lot of it without it looking exactly like every other one's R1M. So I wanted to go with a black one so I could literally stealth out the whole thing. So we'll start up top. I have got the Paig double bubble smoke screen, not the black one, the smoked one, because I actually like to see through it a little bit, where the black one is just completely blacked out. I went with the ASVs, again, the short levers, I love these, but I actually went on ASV's website and bought the black spindles so I could change them, because they come with red, and I didn't want red, I wanted black. So you can buy these, I think they're like £8 or £12, and you can literally pop them out and put these ones in. And yeah, I scratched the panel when I was doing it for, I don't know how, but I've ordered new ones, OEM ones of these, but I don't like that. That's a horrible scratch. I never run mirrors, so I went with the Lighttech mirror block-off plates. And you're probably going, oh, well, where's your indicators? Now, in the UK, we can't do the DLR kind of flickering headlights to be indicators. Now, I know in the US, a lot of them use these as their indicators, but in the UK, we can't. So I went with the Rizoma, the little tiny ones up here. I'll put them on in a minute. And they're out the way. I mean, it's legal. They do flash really bright. They're tucked away. I could have had them a little bit lower down here, but I actually like them when they're tucked up there. Of course, Evotech radiator and oil guard, the best in the game. I always use them. As always, GB Racing engine protectors. Can't go wrong with these, and they fit so well. Like, honestly, you can do them yourself as long as you torque up the screws properly. And they just give it like a clean finish, and you know your bike's protected if you was to ever fall over. I went with the R&G. A lot of people say go with the Evotech, but because I use the R&G spindles and because I use the paddock stand R&G ones, I just kind of matched it all round. But a lot of people do say go with the Evotech ones because they're not as chunky. But I kind of want them chunky, because if this bike falls, I want this to save all of this side of the bike. I love this. A lot of people don't really use them, but they're like hill guards for your, like, so you don't mark your frame. I don't want to put too much carbon on it. I like it with just subtle bits. A lot of people use the frame protectors, but then you've got to glue it on, and I don't really want to do that. So I use these. These come direct from R&G, and they give a good, nice finish, and they're protected. I mean, there's a lot of R&G going on here. I'm not sure if I like all of these. I might actually drop the middle one out. But this here will just protect it. If you hit it with your boot, when you're getting on and off the bike, you'll just save that frame from getting some wear on it. Went with the Lighttech chain adjusters. I swear by these. If you're doing your chain at home or you want to make adjustments at home, then these are easy. It saves measuring it. It saves getting your wheel out of line. You just click these left, click these right. So easy to get straight. But yeah, really good durability, good quality. Can't go wrong with Lighttech products. Of course, the quick release fuel cap. Now, ignore the big screws, because the screws that come with it, I didn't really like the fit of them. They're like this. This is actually their breather tube. So I put the OEM screws in for now until they send me out new ones, because they just didn't tighten how I wanted them to tighten. So I've just put these ones in for now. But again, going with the stealth look, everything black. Got some black grips on the tank. Loads of people, I'm going to tell you a little trick. Loads of people say, oh, don't buy these because in the summer they just melt off. Now, the best way to do this is you buy these, you take off all the adhesive that comes with them. So when you get them, there's like a sticky adhesive on the back. Take all that off, put them in the dishwasher. It will clean them off, and then use 3M tape just around the edge, like a really like 2mm, 3mm 3M tape, and just go around the edge, and they will never come off. It doesn't matter how hot this bike gets. These will never come off. So carbon wise, I only wanted the front mudguard. I didn't want the quarter tank. I think it's just too much carbon, so I went with just the air duct. It's like a nice little touch here. I went with the rear centerpiece. I like this. I had this on the S1K. It just makes it not look as OEM. It does get a little bit scratched from your backside, but it does make it look a little bit fresh up here. And then I went with the rear mud because you have to. I think it just looks great on these bikes. It looks absolutely mean, I can't lie. And then I went with the clutch cover as well, because it just, with the GB Racing in there. You can get this in carbon as well, but again, I just don't like too much carbon. I think it kind of ruins it. But yeah, the clutch cover looks nice in there. At the moment, I'm running a stock chain and sprocket. I am going to change it to a DID chain. I want a gold chain on it and a black sprocket, an AFAM sprocket. But for now, because it's brand new, the chain is mint. It's not worth changing it at the moment. I am awaiting my full 6 belly panel. So I've ordered a full 6 carbon belly panel that will go all the way across to here. I mean, with an R1, people say you shouldn't hide the exhaust, but I just feel like when you square off the bottom of the bike, it just completes it. I mean, I even went with the oil cap because no one likes an OEM oil cap, them plastic things sitting there. So I went with this little titanium one. Now, the absolute monster. Titanium SC, I think it's a CRT one. I just love it. Like, not many people run an SC in England on their R1s. Titanium link pipe. You already get titanium headers with an R1, so it wasn't worth changing the whole lot. You can already see now it's starting to blue a little bit, but I haven't rid it long, I haven't had it long. So it's starting to colour a little bit. But I'll turn this on in a minute and you can hear this thing, because this thing is so loud. I went with the NRC again. Their products are amazing. They fit absolutely perfect. And they just look sleek. And in UK, obviously, you meant to have a number plate this way. But I actually went for the US version where the license plate actually sits underneath like that. It just cleans up that back end. There's nothing there. I like to be able to see right through. No pegs. I've blanked them off with Evotech blanking plates because I never carry pillions at all. So pegs come off. The rear seat never goes on. It is PPF'd, you can see, but the corners are starting to come up a little bit. I'm not sure I like PPF, but I got it on anyway to protect it. I probably will keep it on the front fairing because, you know, you get stone chips and stuff, but everywhere else, I just don't know. It just doesn't sit right. They did a good job, but it's starting to come up in the corners, which I don't really like. I'm also waiting on Gillies rear sets. I've ordered the Gillies carbon rear sets. I do find with this one, I'm only 5'7", and coming off from an S1000RR, I find that the reach here and here is quite long, especially this side, because you're sitting more of like an aggressive angle. I feel like I'm having to reach for the gear lever. It's really strange. So I really have to like kind of make myself go forward to press it. So I'm going to go with the Gillies rear sets, just because I can adjust them to fit my feet. Oh, and I also went with the rear carbon chain guard. This matches the mud guard, it looks quite nice. I am running the Michelin Power 6. I swear by these tyres. When these tyres are warm, they give you so much confidence. And I know everybody's different. Some people prefer a Bridgestone, some people prefer a Super Corsa. I love Michelin. There's plenty of grip. Even if you get caught out, especially in the UK in a little bit of rain, these tyres are great. And of course, the tyre stickers. One of the most controversial things I get told on a bike is, why are you running stickers on your bike? Why are you painting your tyres? I am not painting my tyres. That was in the 80s. These are tyre wall stickers. They're super glued on. They are expensive. If you go for a lot of tyres, then you're going to be paying for a lot of stickers. You're looking at about £60 to £100 for a set of stickers, and that's just for one sticker per wheel. Now, I'm not bothered. Don't buy them, because I love the fact that, especially in the UK, I don't see many people with them. So it actually makes the bike stand out really well. I had these same ones on the BMW, but I had the man in red, because I had a few little red details on the BM. But on this bike, I wanted just to go black and white, stay black and white. Black, white and carbon is all I wanted to go for. I'm a little bit annoyed that this is red. Now, if anyone out there can tell me, can you get this in black? Because I don't like the red. I want to take the red off. So if you can get a black kill switch, I'm for it. But I'm going to give you a cold start. This thing is loud. I mean, the one thing I do notice about Yamaha, and I know it's Japanese, is it doesn't feel as premium, especially even from coming from the BMW. Like, this indicator button feels like it's going to break. I can't lie. And everything's just, I mean, it's nice and firm. Everything's a little bit clicky, which I like. But even like the movement of buttons, I don't like that. I like it to be more solid. But if I was to say what's more fun to ride, this bike is way more fun than the S1K. The S1K is a very easy bike to ride. I think anyone without much experience could even get on an S1K and ride it. But to get on this thing wants to kill you every time you want to ride it. And I actually thought, when I first got on this, I thought, oh, it's a little bit slow compared to the BMW off the lights. And it probably is a little bit slower off the lights. But once you get up the range of second and third gear, this thing just takes off. The torque on this is second to none. And actually, when you're up the gears, this thing is very quick. So I'll put the hazards on. I'll show you these. You can see them right there. And even though back here, you can still see them, and this is daytime, they're bright enough. And at night time, it actually shines off the mudguard. So when you put it on, it's actually really bright. I'm not sure if they're going to allow it, but they're tucked out the way. I like the fact that you can't see them, but they are bright enough. So at night, this thing glows. Oh, and I also got the spindle covers from R&G. Just it protects the front wheel if you go over. I don't plan to go over, but all these little bits of protection. Oh, I forgot about these, the Evotech bar ends with the brake guard, because I will take this to Spain, it will go on track. So I thought I'd put it on now. But even these, it's such a quality product, other than the fact I marked it. Right, I know you're all waiting to hear this. So we're gonna do a cold start. I'll let it warm up and then we'll give it a few revs. But I don't know what decibel reading this is. All I know is it's loud. Now I've set off the neighbour's dogs. But yeah, guys, this is my 2024 R1, and stay tuned. Plenty of videos coming, and install of the belly panel and the rear sets are going to go on very soon. Oh, and the rear seat is coming from Florida, even though I'm in the UK. I've got a custom seat coming, black Alcantara with white stitching, and this little piece to match here. And that is it. A brand new 2024. We have to enjoy these because they're not making anymore, especially not here. I'm out, guys.